Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and no good can come from this battle. I mean, we got a Klefki, a Drifblim, and a Bidoof. You are on the battle spot for one reason, and that is trolling, but it could go absolutely fantastic. So let's watch how this battle ends up playing out. Now, the Trevenant into the here's the thing about Trevenant. I feel it's a really good tank Pokemon, does a lot of really cool things with the Harvest. It just doesn't have that many great matchups. Alright, so this is going to be a full support Klefki is what it looks like. Makes a lot of sense. You want to get that Klefki like Light Screen, Reflect, Thunder Wave, you paralyze down the opponent, you can get some good setup for yourself like that. Then you go into Drifblim, and then you just win. So those are things that will happen. And that is going to be the Leech Seed. But yeah, like Trevenant, it's either going to get blown up by a super effective hit, or it doesn't it doesn't stall out as well as other stall Pokemon, even though it can do a lot of really cool things. So that's going to be a Leech Seed coming across. Not really going to get too much else out of it, but now Drifblim comes in, and Drifblim is just going to go and eat a Will-O-Wisp. Drifblim doesn't really care about that, though. So it is burned now, and we'll just watch a stockpile minimize. Alright, so this is pretty much just kind of gone into where we would expect to go. We're going to Baton Pass, we're going to stockpile, we're going to minimize, we're going to Baton Pass. We just got that paralysis right there, so free turn off of the Trevenant. And I mean, Trevenant does do good damage, because the way that it plays, ooh, except that's a little unfortunate, and that priority tells me that the Trevenant probably wanted to go for something like a Shadow Sneak at this point to try to get as much damage across as possible. And Drifblim actually has a Shadow Ball. Oh, a little bit of extra damage on the Trevenant. Wow. Okay, not just a little, big hit onto the Trevenant, special defense drop, but that's going to be the Citrus Berry. That's what I mean, like the Harvest means that you're going to be doing a quarter of your opponent's hit points and healing like 3/16 of yours, because Leech Seed plus your Citrus Berry, you can also protect out if you need to, burn the opponent, and get a lot of cool things down. But the opponent not having a good day right now with that paralysis probably wouldn't knock out the Drifblim or really threaten it too much, because there's also a minimize in play. But the Shadows, wow, I would not expect the Drifblim to have kill pressure like that. But now that's where the burn starts getting a little annoying, and in comes Shuckle. So Shuckle's going to go for his own kind of stall. Drifblim's like, alright, time to get out of here. Let's get the Baton Pass. Got a couple stats, got a KO. And let's see what Bidoof does with this. Now, the fun thing about Bidoof is you don't know what set it's going to be until it's too late, I guess, or something like that. So Bidoof has the curse. Alright. And are we going to gain massive stats right here? So, okay, it's harsh. So that means it's got the simple ability on this Bidoof, which means sharply raising those defenses. Bidoof staying away from that Toxic. Oh, that's some luck right there. But, I mean, Bidoof probably has rest, so Toxic missing isn't the worst thing. Just all that minimized with the accuracy on Toxic. Not going to make it the best. Toxic, oh my goodness, the world's luckiest Bidoof right here. And then we go for the Amnesia, so 2 curses. Now we have ×3 defenses, and then Amnesia. Now we have ×3 special defense, and Toxic is going to land onto the Bidoof. So it's going for those mad damages. And, like, that's the weird thing about Bidoof. If you're running the simple, you just gain stats like mad, just like this, and then your opponent can't keep up with you. Coming on a special attack, you're going to be able to do really well, and then if you have the Moody ability, you can get evasion, you get some other fun stuff, but why have Moody if you are going to be using Minimize? So, Shuckle, I would say the Stealth Rocks is a bit late, and that's going to be the Facade. About a quarter, not really too much crazy damage. You got to get the most stab out of it. Bidoof's already at max attack, like that was fast how much Bidoof just hit those attacks. And now Sticky Web. So Shuckle isn't going to get anything done. He got the Toxic down. I guess he's just stalling out, hoping that the Bidoof will go down to the Toxic. But if you just got Curse, Amnesia, Rest, oh well. Tough on the opponent. And we have the Protect. So Toxic stall with the Protect. Could have worked out better as the opening, but I guess didn't want to lead into the Klefki potentially like that. And that is just going to be more damage from that poison. And, oh, the opponent's trying to get a little fancy right there, getting as many Protects as possible to get that Toxic damage down. But that is unfortunate for you, Mr. Shuckle, because that's a rest. And now Toxic means nothing. So that was pretty much the plan right there. And Shuckle's going to keep going for that Protect. So Bidoof is fast asleep. Shuckle literally has nothing. Toxic doesn't work because Bidoof is asleep. And yeah, I guess we just get to wait until the opponent switches out. And the opponent is going to be switching out into the Rayquaza. So I mean, Mega Rayquaza isn't going to be too late already, because that's like so much damage that's just going to be negated by all those curses. Bidoof's going to wake up, go into the Facade. How much damage can you do to Rayquaza? It looks like a 2-hit KO. Okay, critical hit did add a little bit more right there. It's close. It's close. It might have 2-hit KO'd without the crit. Probably not some kind of damage. But let's just watch. See what Dragon's Ascent does to a max defense Bidoof right here. I'm excited to see that one. So that's going to be the Delta Stream and Earthquake. Bidoof avoids it anyways. So now we'll never see what happens. Rip Rayquaza. And then Shuckle comes in and Shuckle just loses. So, I mean, that's a facade. That's 2 facades. It's game over. GG. I mean, the Toxic's missing didn't really matter because it would have just meant Bidoof rested early and it would have still done absolutely just nutty things like this. So let's go into the next battle. Alright, same team, same setup. Let's see how this one plays out. Now, here's the thing that I like about this team. It pretty much means that any Pokemon gets to win battles, depending on how you play it out. Like the Drifblim, that's why I think Drifblim is one of the best Pokemon out there. Like, you have the... You are the only Pokemon in the game that can baton pass defenses and minimize like that. And you are also tanky enough to survive. Like, you use Stockpile, you get super tanky. You use Minimize, you get hard to hit. And then, like, yeah, it's very... Unless you're going into, like, super effective Thunders or Ice-type attacks or something outrageously overwhelming, Drifblim might have some problems. But, yeah, you're going to get, like, 2 Minimizes. You're going to find a Stockpile and some Evasion in there. And you get to hand that off to any Pokemon that you want. It's absolutely beautiful. So, Klefki just gonna set up there, you know, there's the Reflect and getting light screen doing damage stuff, but that's an Encore right there. So, Klefki's gonna receive an Encore. I guess he doesn't really matter too much, because that's when you just come in and you're like, alright, time to give it to Drifblim. And then Drifblim into the Politoed, gonna be a good matchup, because, like, here we go, decent damage, but we don't have to worry about, like, massive, crazy damage stuff. So that's a Scald. That's a rain-boosted Scald. And the red card. Oh, beautiful. Actually, that's one thing we didn't notice with the Trevenant. Because Trevenant wasn't actually landing hits. So red card is actually going to make Drifblim even more powerful because it has the Unburden ability. That's what makes it so good. If it takes a huge hit, you can red card. You have a Citrus Berry as well. So, I mean, say you eat like a super effective hit, you get dropped into red, Citrus Berry pulls you up, and then now you already have the Stockpile, so you'll survive, you get minimized, it can miss, and then, like, there's so much that Drifblim does, and then it gets faster than your opponent, so it can outspeed sweepers. The Flare Blitz in the rain, not really going to work out too well. Back into the Politoed. I guess once that Scald Burn to try to get the most on the Drifblim, but that just means a free minimize. And the stats just keep adding up. I think it's been like a good 100 Fan Fridays since we've shown a nice Drifblim setup, so that's going to be Drifblim with more minimize. I mean, that's when you just choose whatever Pokemon. Bidoof works really well. It already has simple stat boosting, so it gains stats ridiculous, but you can put it into whatever you want. And then you just win battles. So Evasion won't go any higher. We've already maxed out on the minimize. Alright, because of the Encore. So eventually, we'll get over the Encore, and then we have our Unburden, so it'll just go away. Scald's gonna land and miss and miss and miss. The Encore ends, and I mean, getting Encored into like Stockpile wouldn't be the worst thing ever. But I haven't seen the Stockpile, which is kind of weird. But there we go. That's gonna be a Baton Pass into Bidoof. I mean, you actually don't even need the Stockpiles with the Bidoof because as you can see here, when it uses Amnesia, it's going to go +4, and then you use it again. So makes sense. And then you just give it the Amnesia, so you're not running the Moody. It makes a lot more sense because when I was running Bidoof, I'm just going solo Bidoof. Solo Bidoof with the Moody, but I mean, you give it any little bit of help, and Bidoof is actually a very powerful Pokemon when you set it up like this. So that's going to be Toxic, Bidoof's going to avoid, there's a Curse. Fun stuff. Speed's going to become nothing, but we gain attack, we gain defense, and this is the long game right now. So the opponent's going for the Toxic. I can't wait to see the look on his face when he goes and sees that, hey, it has the rest. And that's why you run the rest on Bidoof. You get so tanky that you can be asleep for a couple turns. And with the Evasion, it's even better like that. So, you know, that's a thing. Hurt by the poison. Rejoin the Politoed. He's like, alright, I'm going to take this thing out. Time to wall it. What are we going to go into? The Tyranitar. Actually, Tyranitar is going to give Bidoof a little bit of problems. Also, the opponent with that full hack shiny team. Very unfortunate right there just to see that. But that's why this has to be the best feeling battle in the world. You just go Bidoof. Like, you Bidoof out the hacker. Oh, that's some salt. And then, like, Tyranitar is going to be able to tank up really well. Facade's your only damage. But the poison's actually going to aid. The poison is going to aid the facade damage, which means we're going to get more damage as we come across into it. Tyranitar with the Earthquake. Earthquake actually lands, but after using all that Curse, does absolutely nothing. And I mean, it's like, that's one of those things, like, how long do you hold on to the poison? Because that chunked. That chunked pretty well. I mean, there's some sand. Now we're going to see some poison damage. It looks like you have to take that rest. I don't know. Earthquake. Yeah, you have to take the rest. Never mind. Because I was like, yeah, after that damage, it would be too much. So you can't give up the Bidoof. You gotta play it safe. Just wait it out for a couple of turns and watch the opponent's frustration come through. And Tyranitar probably doesn't have Toxic since I was on the Politoed. Feels good. It feels good to get one of those accomplishing Bidoof battles. I should do this on my Bidoof, because like I was doing like AFK Bidoof, solo Bidoof. I'm just having fun with it. But yeah, if you actually like put more investment into it, Bidoof is like, you know what, it doesn't go away. And I got the Moody Bidoof, so I might have to ability capsule it or something. I mean, it's great that Bidoof is such a silly derp meme Pokemon, and now it gets to do so much. Like, that's the Simple ability, man. Simple is so good like that. You just get to Curse Amnesia, and then you actually get decent amounts of damage. How much does Facade go do on the Politoed? Yeah, you find 2-hit KOs. Also, there's a Citrus Berry. But you find 2-hit KOs. Or leftovers. Alright. Politoed with that Toxic. I mean, you're just empowering the Facade, so you force an earlier rest. But yeah, it doesn't really do too much, especially because of the rest. I mean, it is the better option, because if it Scald Burns, then you're still getting damage off of the Facade boosting, because Facade ignores Burn. And now we go into Flareon. So, I mean, Flareon's just going to get... I don't think he'll get dropped with a one-shot. I think it's a little tankier than that. Bidoof's going to avoid the Flare Blitz. Flare Blitz plus Rain does not really work out for the opponent too much either. Oh, there it is. Bidoof actually packing some damage with that Toxic. The Rain will stop right here. And a little bit of poison. So it looks like you get one Facade, you go into the rest, and then you win. And how much damage are we going to see? Like, what? I'm about to say, like, is there no, I don't think if it crits, there's no, oh, the opponent forfeits once again. Oh, man, the ultimate Rage Quit Salt forces out on these Bidoofs, man. I love it. That is a nice battle. Good strategy. I mean, Klefki setup, you know, you paralyze, you get Light Screen Reflect, you bring in the Drifloon safely. It sets up harder because it's not taking any damage, and you don't have to worry about the evasion, or no, you don't have to worry about the stockpile or any defenses because of that. You evasion into the Bidoof, and then Bidoof just wins. GG. That was pretty awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope to see you guys in the next Fan Fridays.